Hi, I'm Jesse with Mastercam, and in this video I'd like to talk to you about stock models. When programming a complex part, I make sure the first operation in the Toolpath Manager is a stock model. I'm able to reference it for programming in future operations, and it makes it easy to visualize the raw stock when planning my workflow. To create a stock model, I go to the Toolpaths tab and click on Stock Model. The first thing I need to do is give it a name. In this case, I'm just going to call it Stock. I'm also going to pick a custom color for the stock model so I can differentiate it from future stock models I plan to use in this part. In this case, I'll use color 124. I then need to define the initial stock shape. For this, I'll pick the predefined solid body on level 99 in this file. I can then click OK and the stock model is automatically generated and displayed in the graphics window. If I want to show or hide the stock model, I can easily do so by clicking on Toggle Display on Selected Operations in the Toolpath Manager or by pressing the T key on my keyboard. This is the same way I would show or hide the display of a toolpath. Being able to toggle my stock model this easily means that I don't have to go back into stock setup in my machine group properties or even turn on and off a level in my levels manager. This means I can work faster and more efficiently. Now that the stock is set up, I'm ready to create my first operation. For my initial roughing operation, I'm going to go to the Toolpath tab and select OptiRough from the 3D toolpaths. For my machining surfaces, I'm going to select the entire part. I could do this by window selecting, but there's another method available in Mastercam. If the part is complex, or there's a lot of geometry on screen that I don't want to accidentally pick when window selecting, I can simply click 3 times on the solid body I want to pick, and the entire body is automatically selected. Back on the machining geometry page, I'm going to enter stock to leave values for my walls and floor. If I want my toolpath to avoid my vise, I can use the avoidance geometry controls and select my vise. This time, I'll window select the bodies that make up the fixturing and end my selection to return to the toolpath parameters. On the tool page, I'm going to select the 12mm bullnose end mill I have in my library. The holder has already been defined for this tool, so I don't need to make any changes on the holder page. Next, we'll go to the stock page and choose one other operation as the rest material type, then select the stock model operation we created earlier. To most efficiently cut with any of the dynamic motion toolpaths for milling, it's best to use a small step over with a much larger step down. The step down allows us to utilize as much of the cutting length of the tool as possible, and the small step over means we can cut at much higher speeds. This will reduce cycle times and make our tools last longer. On the cut parameters page, I'll set a 25% step over and a 200% step down. Next, we'll go to the steep shallow page to look at another new feature for Mastercam 2020, Adjust for Stock to Leave. This new option makes the steep shallow page aware of the floor stock you entered on the model geometry page. This means that in a situation where I want to select a point for my maximum depth, I don't need to remember to manually add or remove my stock to leave amount from the selection I just made. Instead, Mastercam will automatically apply the stock to leave value I entered on the model geometry page to my minimum depth for me. For my minimum and maximum depth values, I'm going to leave the minimum set to Z0, and for the maximum value, I'm going to right-click in the field and select Z coordinate of a point. Since I want to cut all the way down to this flat surface, I'll select an appropriate auto cursor position. Thanks to Adjust for Stock to Leave, Mastercam takes the Z value of the point I just selected and automatically subtracts the correct amount of stock to leave. Now I can click OK to close the toolpath parameters page, and I can review the toolpath. By having my initial stock setup represented as a stock model, it gives me a great visual representation which helps me when I'm thinking about how to program the part. I'm also able to use it as rest material for my roughing operations, and I can use it as the stock definition in simulation. And since I can easily turn on and off its display, just like any other operation in the Toolpaths Manager, it's always there when I want to reference it, and hidden when I don't.